Just under a year ago, life was very different for Dom and Lizzie Slater from Yorkshire. Racing across the world in a TV competition, the siblings travelled thousands of miles across South America in the experience of a lifetime. And while they settle in to lockdown life back home, they explain what it was like being on the show.
The overall feeling was it was just an absolutely life-changing, incredible experience.
It was crazy. Like, it was non-stop for about 2 months, and I think you can't really explain the feeling to anyone because it's constant. You're in a constant competitive state, and you can't really relax. You're like constantly worrying about where the next person is or what you're doing next, and you literally do not relax for 2 months.
And they talked about something of a culture shock they experienced early on.
One thing we struggled with was probably the language barrier.
Yeah, the Spanish was quite hard, but apart from that, an amazing place.
Yeah.
Bus journeys, often of around 24 hours long, were a commonplace on the trip. So how did the siblings find them?
Honestly, don't think they're awful, anymore.
No,
I think you get used to it.
I think it's grown on us, really.
It's actually quite a good way to travel a distance without flying, and it's much cheaper than flying. So I think, and you do see a lot more on a bus than you would on a plane.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And to be honest, it was really the only option, despite flying. And if you don't have the money to fly, then I think it's a great idea to get buses.
But what was it like coming home to Yorkshire after 2 months in South America?
So I came home for 4 days, and then I moved to Austria for 5 months. So I was quite already in a mindset where I was like, well, I'm about to leave, so I'm not going to settle down. But the best thing was probably eating properly.
Yeah, definitely.
Food.
As soon as we got home, we had a roast dinner.
Yeah, roast dinner. But also it was just, I don't know, because obviously our friends and the family didn't know what we were doing really. So I just felt like I had so many stories to tell because we couldn't.
But we couldn't really tell everyone what had happened because obviously we had to sort of keep it quiet before the show came.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it was weird coming home and just being able to communicate with people easily.
Yeah.
After struggling for 2 months.
Oh, that feeling of having your phone in your hand is so weird. You're just like, what do I do with this? It's so big. It's bizarre.
And how are they coping with lockdown less than a year after being on the trip of a lifetime?
After the race, I wouldn't have done it again immediately, but now I'm I'd give anything to go back out there and do the race all over again, even though it is stressful, because it's
just been odd watching us go into these incredible places and not being able to leave our own house.
Yeah.
So I think, it's just been...
But it's made us want to travel more.
Yeah, fond memories making us want to travel, I think. For me as well, I was a teacher and I've been furloughed now, so I really don't know what to do with myself. I think we're both twiddling our thumbs a bit, trying to find something productive to do.
Yeah.
So while the difficulties of lockdown are faced head-on, it's a far cry from hitchhiking across the Andes for Dom and Lizzie. Having taken many bus journeys of around 24 hours on their trip, patience is a skill they have developed that will certainly be coming in handy at this time. Rory Ward, That's TV.